So this is how we work with our map. So the fear and trust line is really showing you the autonomic nervous system. So we have fear on one side and we have safety on the other side. And these are connected to the gas and to the brake. So the give birth without fear method, we have understood how the emotions talk down to the autonomic nervous system, because we have given birth exactly like this for 40,000 years. So imagine how much longer we have given birth out there. It can be a war, it still is, unfortunately. It could have been maybe a fire or even a predator. So our emotions guide us. So when the contractions have started, we scan the environment. If there is danger or we suspect danger, fear comes. You see, on that side, the red side, fear will talk down to your physiology and activate the stress system. And the stress system will create the fight or flight response. And that will be like your shoulders go up, you're trying to get away from the threat, or you freeze. All of those responses are actually your stress system. Adrenaline will push away all the birth hormones, and you will stop sleeping, you will stop eating, and you can't feel your body anymore. You can't feel your needs because your body is occupied with the most powerful physiological system we have, that is the survival system. And this has been important thousands of years and is actually the reason why we're so successful. But today we are in a complex situation. So the fear that's increasing the most is secondary fear of birth. That means that we have the first-time mom who maybe isn't that scared and she feels like, yeah, I don't want to think about it too much. It will sort itself out. She gives birth and she comes out traumatized. So something happens in birth that makes us scared and overwhelmed. And when we don't have knowledge, when we don't have tools and support, it will take over through this automatic response. So imagine what can that be? I'm sure you recognize these examples that I will give you now. Many women can be, scared of the pain because we are not used to coping with pain. We're not strengthened in our own belief that I can deal with challenges, emotional as well as physical. We also have a picture of pain as only negative and we want to avoid it in all costs. So there's no belief that actually sometimes there is constructive pain, like when our babies get their teeth. We don't remember it, but it's a tooth coming through the gum and the baby is having a pain a couple of days and then we have a tooth. This is a little bit the same, the body is going through changes that requires physical pressure, changes in your body that will create expected and copable normal pain with the pain relief as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. So do you recognize that it can be like, I don't understand, it can feel overwhelming, it can be the pain. If you recognize that, to me, to my beautiful baby, existentially the most normal, natural feeling. I always talk, with last webinar, we talked about that feeling as a symbol of the love. So that is actually a symbol of your love, because you already love that person so much that of course we get vulnerable. Of course it's scary that something becomes so important. So it's actually a symbol of your love. And of course, if you have a lot, you need to talk about it. And if you have anything else you want to share around what could cause fear, you're more than welcome to share it in the chat. But the main purpose is here that fear will activate this physiological no. So if we go on the other side and we look at the opposite side, because if we have a physiological no, we also have a physiological yes. So this is like the plan of the body. We go back to our emotions. Contractions have started. I scan the environment. No signs of threat, or I am in an environment where I'm protected somehow. Nothing can attack me and I can feel safe. So safety will tell the body it's a good chance for survival. Let's go, and the birth physiology will be activated. So actually we're meant to give birth when we are feeling safe. So this is the plan. How can we know that? Because your body has, through evolution, chosen oxytocin as your birth hormone. Oxytocin is your peace and calm hormone. It is, a part of the parasympathetic nervous system, and it is really connected to all kinds of emotions of trust, of rest. It is the love hormone. Did you know that? The relationship hormone with your loved ones, your partner, with your friends, and of course with your baby. It is also in the parasympathetic nervous system. We rest. Our organs get new blood, the uterus gets more blood, and we get, regenerating our energy because we need that during the hours of birth. So this is actually the plan, guys, that we're supposed to give birth when we feel feelings of safety. So what we do in this method is that we take this knowledge, you see the arrow, so your compass, what you need to focus on is only to move towards the feeling of safety in every contraction. That's more challenging than you understand. Every contraction, you as the birthing person, you move your body, baby, towards safety. You as the support person, move your team towards safety. And that will then give that signal, activate that automatic spiral, and start and release the hormone oxytocin. So oxytocin is a hormone. So we work with what's already inside of you. Instead of, a complicated way of breathing, you need to practice 10 weeks, which can work. But it's from a cognitive controlled point of view where you feel empowered because you have something, even if you're breathing in a square or counting or anything else, it gives you positive control. But we focus on the physiology. You don't need to understand how this is happening. We just need to press the right buttons for your physiology. And oxytocin is a hormone. I love oxytocin, guys. This is the love hormone. This is the trust hormone. This is the sleep hormone. And this is the birth hormone. How often do we talk about those things together? And still your body has chosen this. So your job together, it is to open the oxytocin tap. So how do we do that? How do we open the oxytocin tap? So before I dive into, the contractions, we just go through this practical part of the Give Birth Without Fear method. This is actually all you need to remember as the birthing woman, as the support person. This is the spine of the method because the 4 Give Birth Without Fear tools are directly wired into that automatic physiology. So they will activate more, at least, of the feeling we're after. So how can we change either the negative spiral to the positive spiral that I just showed you? What was the trigger? The emotion. So instead of inventing a complicated way of breathing, we just focus on the way your body already is breathing in the feeling of trust, because every emotion has their body language already in your body, already prepared through the nervous system. So a very fast track highway to the feelings of trust is that you consciously, even if you at the same time feel stress and fear, that's completely normal. Fake it until you make it, guys. Express the body language for trust. Today, I don't have time to go down in each and every one of the tools. Please download the app and listen a little bit deeper each one of them, or read the book, or attend our childbirth class. This is really like where you practice this together and you really understand on a deeper practical level the step 2. But just to give you the most important thing, because the good news here is that you don't even need to understand the physiology. If you do these things, they will activate your physiology. So when the contraction comes, you, as the birthing woman, you're checking with your breathing, and you actually breathe as you do when you are relaxed on a Sunday. So if you guys check in your breathing right now, just listen to your breath. You hear it's silent and it's soft. This is about the breathing physiology, the only important factor to remember. So this is the scanning. You remember I mentioned that for you as a support person, you see the support there. You're the lighthouse. You have the scanning job because you're not doing the work. So you're gonna keep track of two important factors. If there's fear, the breath will have a sound, the hyperventilation. So that's where you need to step in and help her towards trust. You see, the light is always guiding the team towards the pole of trust. And you help her through guiding to silent and soft breathing. And again, the physical work we're doing is not like a marathon here. So it's not the aerobic energy we need. More muscles, the longer time, the more breathing we need. The shorter intervals and the fewer muscles, the more anaerobic energy we need. And that is more carbs and sugars. So that's how the uterus is working. That's why you can breathe soft and silent and at the same time sweat, because there is an oven working inside of your uterus. So that's how we work with the first tool. So why do we breathe like that? It's the emotional trigger that I talked about, because it's scary. It's the shock, the breathing center is connected to the emotional center, because if we are suddenly scared, we quickly need oxygen for the fight or flight response. So what we see in contractions is, I'm scared. And that's a normal feeling. So that's where we need love and support. Like, okay, have the courage. Just even more silent breathing, even softer. There you go. Make it completely silent. That's how you guide. Relaxation is our second tool. So you just keep track of the expression for fear here. That is actually the fight or flight, the forehead, the jaw that's connected to the pelvic floor, the fight or flight. And she will squeeze her buttocks and thighs together. So here we do the opposite. How is the muscles when we are safe? They're relaxed. But we don't just say relax. To a woman in birth, you're going to get a punch. So don't do that mistake, please. We need to help her understand exactly how and where. So we use the fight or flight stations that's already since thousands of years programmed. So we ask her to relax in the jaw, relax forehead, relax in the jaw, relax in the shoulders, and relax in the buttocks. And we can just repeat heavy down, let the baby down. And that's how you take away the resistance. You remember I said our job is to do nothing. So by having the courage to relax in these muscles, keep your focus on muscle group after muscle group, you're helping your baby. Isn't that beautiful? Voice then. This is my favorite tool. This is my go-to tool. I haven't attended a birth in years without using that tool, but it's the hardest one to practice, guys, really. So, the practicing can be the difficult part here, because, that's like, we're not used to making sound. We're not used to making this kind of like sounds every day, because we're not doing the physical work of birth. But that sound comes from the autonomic nervous system, and it has a very clear purpose. It's going to help you with the pushing. It's going to help you with letting your baby down in your body, and it has a power purpose. So it's actually very important. So when you're training it with the help of our childbirth class or anything else, you have fun, okay? You laugh, you do it together. And the fourth tool is the mind. So the mind we also use, that we help your mind not to get locked into the no, I can't do this, because it's not our cheerleader. Now we're running marathon or when we're giving birth. For most of us, it's too painful, I can't do this. But that's where we just have to change the no to a yes, or the I cannot do this to I can do this. That's where you think about your baby. So that is really like those 4 tools that we're now going to look 10 minutes together how we use in the contractions. So okay guys, we have given you the focus that you together keep track of the physiological no and the physiological yes. Your compass, your work is simply to navigate in every contraction hour after hour after hour towards the feeling of trust. The how you do it is the 4 tools. silent and soft breathing, relaxed, heavy body, a deep pitch, not a ah, it's a and then we have a positive thought. You can try yes, you can try the baby's name, you can try, and then that you work together. So you have your support person reminding you of these 4 layers all the time.